It's Saturday morning and welcome to the Saturday Show special. It's the Brexit special. Yes, Saturday Show 13. It's 1st of February 2020. I know it said 2012 for some reason, but it isn't. It's February the 1st and it's now known in England as Independence Day. As you probably know, I'm not a political animal. I'm not really worried about politics at all. But something as big as this has to be, sort of mentioned. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the English have just voted to leave the EU, which gives them fewer rights and less freedom. And they say, we won! Yeah! Now, I've got friends who voted to leave Europe and friends who wanted to, like me, who wanted to stay. Obviously, I want to stay because I live in Europe and I consider myself English, of course, but I'm also European because, for the last 40 years, I'm able to go and live in over 30 different countries, live and work without any sort of problems whatsoever, providing you can support yourself, obviously. So I could go and get a job working in France, Italy, Spain, Germany, anywhere you like, yeah, without any problems. But as of today, game over. It's strange. It's weird because now that the government started to realise, hang on a minute, there's a few problems here. We want to protect the car industry from Brexit. Oh, hang on a minute. Why would you protect something from something that's better? Because the reason you left, or the reason to Brexit, is to make people's lives better. Now, I've asked a lot of people, what in your life is going to be better as of today? And everybody goes, oh, we got control of our borders. Okay. Well, if you go, I live in France, as they say. I mean, I can drive from here to Spain and there's no border. Yeah, and you go past and it's just a big sign that says, welcome to Spain. And you come back and it's, welcome to England or Holland or whatever. It doesn't matter, yeah, apart from England. Because if you go back to England, you have to show your passport in France. And then you get into England, you show your passport again, and then you go through customs, and so you've got control of your borders, buddies. I mean, there's no worries about that. There's no baddies going to get in, And also, they're talking about musicians now. Musicians should be protected from Brexit because musicians. I don't mean people like me, just go around, a jobbing musician, if you like, but proper bands, because they rock up now at Calais, at Dover to get on the ferry or the Channel, and say, have you got your passport? Yes. Have you got your visa? Because you're going out to Europe? Yes, it's my visa. Hang on a second. There's drums and guitars there. Have you got a work permit? What? So you have to have a work permit, a visa, a passport, and see the French and don't even need a passport to go into England, right? All they need is an ID card, just an identity card, and bosh, there you go. Not anymore. You need a passport. They're not very happy about that. But yes, yeah, we won. We won less rights, less freedom, yeah, fewer rights. I don't know. Obviously, there's some parts of society which are always going to vote to leave the EU. I mean, if you were in the military, for instance, or services. I mean, you're trained. I mean, it's all your training, Queen and country, of course. If you go into any country in the world, who's the greatest army in the world? Who's got the best SAS, special services? And the English would always say the English, the Americans would say the Americans, the French would say the French, surprisingly. And it's just, how it is. And of course, blue passports, which the English will now get, and which are made in France, weirdly. And they keep on about these blue passports, and they're nothing like the old passports. Because I've got an old passport. In fact, I'd say it's black. It's not really blue, and the new ones are very light blue. So they're not even like they used to be. So it's all a bit weird. And that's pretty much it, really. I don't know really what to say. I mean, it is Independence Day, and there's a lot of nasty comments floating about. And the media, what they've done is they split Britain into two halves: the people that want to leave and the people that want to remain, and they put them together, and they made this anger between people. And I expect, I might get a few vicious comments at the end of this. And I think, well, why would you do that? I mean, it's up to you. You have the chance to vote. Do it. Slurp of tea. And it's up to a point. A free country. You can do and say what you like. No, you can't really, can you? So there's this whole media backlash, and now there's the government saying, "Oh, I'll try and bring people together." So what do? They had a big party at midnight, or 11 o'clock last night, to celebrate leaving the EU, where at least 50% of the split was 52-48. 52% of people wanted to leave. 48 wanted to stay. Now, every survey I've seen, it's completely changed now. Up to 80% now of people want to remain in the EU. In some, but I would imagine it's probably more like 60-40 in favour of staying in the EU. Yeah, because people didn't know what they voted. You only have to watch the Vox Pops on the telly. They ask people, so what's the greatest thing about leaving the EU? And they go, we'll get our industry back. The EU never took your industry, mate. A bit strange, that one. But until next week, Q&A will be back, and I'm not doing it today because I'm a bit miffed, really, because it's just seemed a bit of it's such an iconic day in history. The 1st of February 2020 will go down in history as the day that everything changed, because it will change. And if anybody can tell me, why it would be better, why losing your rights to live and work anywhere you want in over 30 countries, which you've been able to do for nearly 45 years. And otherwise, what's better about being in your own country? I mean, a lot of people say, it's the race, we don't like them, we don't like them over here, mate. Okay. Your choice. Till next week, my friends. We'll be back in our usual time, usual place. And don't give me a hard time just because I wanted to remain in the European Union. Because it's what I want, it suits me. And I live in La France. Je parle français. À plus tard, mon ami.